Jesus, I surrender.
The 22nd of October, 1899, Volume 2. The Cross, a way strewn with stars. Jesus continues to make himself seen afflicted. The moment he came, he threw himself into my arms, totally exhausted, almost wanting refreshment. He shared with me a little bit of his sufferings, and then he told me, "My daughter, the way of the cross is a way strewn with stars, and as one walks through it, those stars change into most luminous suns. What will be the happiness of the soul for all eternity in being surrounded with these suns? Furthermore, the great reward I give to the cross is so great that there is no measure, either of width or of length. It is almost incomprehensible to the human minds. And this because, in bearing crosses, there can be nothing human. All is divine." End of the reading.
The 27th of October, 1900, Volume 4. Doubts of Louisa about the things that happened to her. She wants to know whether they are from God or from the devil. Obedience does not have human reason. Her reason is divine. This morning I was all oppressed and with a fear that it might not be blessed Jesus who operates in me, but the devil. But in spite of this, I could not refrain from looking for him and desiring him. However, as soon as he deigned to come, he told me, "What is it that gives one the assurance that the sun is rising, if not the light, which puts to flight the darkness of the night and the heat which spreads within that light? If anyone said that the sun has risen, but in spite of this the darkness of the night appeared even thicker and no heat could be felt, what would you say? That it was not a true sun that rose, but a false one, because the effects of the sun cannot be seen. Now, if the sight of me dispels darkness from you and shows you the light of the truth, making you feel the heat of my grace, why do you want to rack your brains that I am not the one who operates in you?" I add, because obedience wants, that the other day I was thinking, if the many chastisements about which I wrote in these books should really occur, who would have the heart to be spectator of them? And the blessed Lord made me understand with clarity that some of them will occur while I am still on this earth, some after my death, and some will be spared in part. So I was a little relieved, thinking that I will not have to see them all. So here is Lady Obedience made satisfied now, after she had begun to frown at me and to send out laments and reprimands. It seems that this blessed young lady in no way wants to adapt herself to the human reason. She does not want to get involved in any circumstance. On the contrary, it seems that she has no reason at all, and it is quite a pain in the neck having to deal with someone who does not have reason. In order to get along a little, it is necessary to lose one's own reason, because the young lady keeps boasting, "I have no human reason, therefore I do not know how to adapt myself to the human way." My reason is divine, and for one who wants to live in peace with me, it is absolutely necessary that she lose hers in order to acquire mine. This is how well this young lady reasons. What can one say? It is better to keep silent, because in one way or another, she always wants to be right, and she glories in giving you all the wrong. End of the reading.
The 22nd of October, 1902, Volume 4. Threats against Italy. This morning my adorable Jesus came for a few instants, all indignant, and he said to me, "When Italy has drunk the most fetid filth to the bottom, to the point of being drowned, so much so that they will say, 'She is dead,' then will she rise again." Then, becoming more calm, he added, "My daughter, when I want something from my creatures, I infuse in them the natural dispositions in such a way as to change their very nature into wanting what I want. Therefore, remain calm in the state you are in. Having said this, he disappeared, and I was left concerned about what he had told me. End of the reading. The 22nd of October 1926, Volume 20. The great good that the kingdom of the divine fiat will bring, how it will be the preserver from all evils. Just as the Virgin, while she made no miracle, made the great miracle of giving a God to creatures, so it will be for the one who must make the kingdom known. She will make the great miracle of giving a divine will. I was thinking to myself about the holy divine volition, and I said to myself, but what will be the great good of this kingdom of the supreme fiat? And Jesus, interrupting my thought, moved in my interior as though hurriedly, telling me, my daughter, what will be the great good? What will be the great good? The kingdom of my fiat will enclose all goods, all miracles, the most sensational prodigies. Even more, it will surpass them altogether. And if miracle means to give sight to a blind one, to straighten up a cripple, to heal one who is sick, to raise a dead man, etc., the kingdom of my will have the preserving nourishment, and for whoever enters into it, there will be no danger that he might become blind, crippled, or sick. Death will no longer have power in the soul, and if it will have it over the body, it will not be death, but transit. Without the nourishment of sin and a degraded human will that produced corruption in bodies, and with the preserving nourishment of my will, the bodies also will not be subject to decomposing and becoming so horribly corrupted as to strike fear even into the strongest eyes, as it happens now, but they will remain composed in their sepulchres, waiting for the day of the resurrection of all. Do you think it is a greater miracle to give sight to a poor blind one, to straighten up a cripple, to heal one who is sick, or to have a preserving means so that the eye may never lose its sight, so that one may always walk straight, so that one may always be healthy? I believe that the preserving miracle is greater than the miracle after a misfortune has occurred. This is the great difference between the kingdom of redemption and the kingdom of the supreme fiat. In the first, the miracle was for the poor unfortunate, as it is today, who lie some in one misfortune, some in another. And this is why I gave the example also externally of giving many different healings that were the symbol of the healings that I gave to the souls, and that easily return to their infirmity. The second will be a preserving miracle, because my will possesses the miraculous power that whoever lets himself be dominated by it will be subject to no evil. Therefore, it will have no need to make miracles, because it will preserve them always healthy, holy, and beautiful, worthy of that beauty that came out of our creative hands in creating the creature. The kingdom of the divine fiat will make the great miracle of banishing all evils, all miseries, all fears, because it will not perform a miracle at time and circumstance, but will keep the children of its kingdom with itself, with an act of continuous miracle, to preserve them from any evil, and let them be distinguished as the children of its kingdom. This in the souls, but also in the body there will be many modifications, because it is always sin that is the nourishment of all evils. Once sin is removed, there will be no nourishment for evil. More so, since my will and sin cannot exist together, therefore the human nature also will have its beneficial effects. Now, my daughter, having to prepare the great miracle of the kingdom of the supreme fiat, I am doing with you, firstborn daughter of my will, just as I did with the sovereign queen, my mamma, when I had to prepare the kingdom of redemption. I drew her so close to myself, I kept her so occupied in her interior, as to be able to form together with her the miracle of redemption, for which there was such great need. There were so many things that together we were to do, to redo, to complete, that I had to hide from her outward appearance anything that might be called miracle, except for her perfect virtue. By this I rendered her more free, so as to let her cross the endless sea of the eternal fiat, that she might have access to the divine majesty, in order to obtain the kingdom of redemption. What would be greater? That the celestial queen had given sight to the blind and speech to the mute and so forth, or the miracle of having the eternal word descend upon earth. The first would have been accidental, passing, and individual miracles. The second instead is a permanent miracle, and it is for everyone, as long as they want it. Therefore, the first would have been as though nothing compared to the second. She was the true Son, who, eclipsing everything, eclipsed the very word of the Father within herself, letting all the goods, all the effects and miracles that redemption produced germinate from her light. But as Son, she produced goods and miracles without letting herself be seen or pointed at as the primary cause of everything. In fact, all the good I did upon earth, I did because the Empress of Heaven reached the point of holding her empire in the divinity, and by her empire she drew me from heaven to give me to creatures. Now I am doing the same with you, in order to prepare the kingdom of the supreme fiat. I keep you with me. I make you cross its endless sea to give you access to the celestial Father, that you may pray him, conquer him, have empire over him, to obtain the fiat of my kingdom. And in order to fulfill and consummate in you all the miraculous power that is needed to form a kingdom so holy, I need you continuously occupied in your interior with the work of my kingdom. I make you go around continuously in order to redo, to complete everything that is needed and that all should do, in order to form the great miracle of my kingdom. Externally, I let nothing miraculous appear in you, except for the light of my will. Some might say, how can this be? Blessed Jesus manifests so many portents to this creature about this kingdom of the divine fiat, and the goods it will bring will surpass creation and redemption. Even more, it will be the crown of both one and the other. But in spite of so much good, nothing miraculous can be seen in her externally as confirmation of the great good of this kingdom of the eternal fiat, while the other saints, without the portent of this great good, have made miracles at each step. But if they turn back to consider my dear Mamma, the holiest of all creatures, and the great good that she enclosed within herself, and that she brought to creatures, there is no one who can compare to her, as she made the great miracle of conceiving the divine word within herself, and the portent of giving a God to each creature. And in the face of this great prodigy never before seen or heard, of being able to give the eternal word to creatures, all other miracles together are like tiny little flames before the sun. Now one who must do the greatest has no need to do the lesser. In the same way, in the face of the miracle of the kingdom of my will restored in the midst of creatures, all other miracles will be tiny flames before the great sun of my will, Each saying, truth, and manifestation about it is a miracle that has come out of my will as preserver from all evils. It is like binding the creatures to an infinite good, to a greater glory, and to a new beauty, fully divine. Each truth about my eternal fiat contains more power and prodigious virtue than if a dead man were resurrected, a leper were healed, a blind one could see, or a mute could speak. In fact, my words on the sanctity and power of my fiat will resurrect the souls to their origin. They will heal them from the leprosy produced by the human will. They will give them the sight to be able to see the goods of the kingdom of my will, because until now they have been like blind. They will give speech to many mute who, while they were able to say many other things, only for my will were like many mute without speech. And then the great miracle of being able to give each creature a divine will that contains all goods. What will it not give them when it will be in possession of the children of its kingdom? This is why I keep you all occupied with the work of this kingdom of mine, and there is much to do in order to prepare the great miracle that the kingdom of the fiat be known and possessed. Therefore be attentive in crossing the endless sea of my will, so that the order between creator and creature may be established. In this way, through you, I will be able to make the great miracle that man returned to me, into the origin from which he came. Then, as I was thinking of what is written above, especially that each word and manifestation on the supreme will is a miracle come out of it, and Jesus, to confirm in me what he had told me, added, "My daughter, what do you think a greater miracle was when I came upon earth? My word, the gospel I announced, or the fact that I gave life to the dead, sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf, etc.? Ah, my daughter, my word, my gospel was a greater miracle, more so since the very miracles came out of my word. The foundation, the substance of all miracles came out of my creative word. The sacraments, creation itself, a permanent miracle, had life from my word, and my very church has my word, my gospel, as regime and foundation. So my word, my gospel, was a miracle greater than the miracles themselves, that if they had life, it was because of my miraculous word. Therefore be sure that the word of your Jesus is the greatest miracle. My word is like mighty wind that runs, pounds on the hearing, enters into the hearts, warms, purifies, illuminates, goes round and round from nation to nation. It covers the whole world. It wanders throughout all centuries. Who could ever give death and bury one word of mine? No one. And if sometimes it seems that my word is silent and is as though hidden, it never loses its life. When least expected, it comes out and goes around everywhere. Centuries will pass in which everything, men and things, will be overwhelmed and disappear. But my word will never pass away because it contains life, the miraculous power of he who issued it. Therefore, I confirm that each word and manifestation I make to you about my fiat is the greatest miracle that will serve the kingdom of my will. And this is why I pursue so much, and I care so much that not a word of mine be not manifested and written by you, because I see a miracle of mine coming back to me that will bring so much good to the children of the kingdom of the supreme fiat. End of the reading. The 22nd of October, 1933, Volume 32. Jesus finds his heaven in the creature and in his celestial mama. Everyone into the all, and the all into everyone. The divine will makes itself revealer, and seeds, seeds, seeds its divine being to the creature. I felt little, so much as to not know how to move a step. And having received Holy Communion, I felt the need, being little, of taking refuge in the arms of Jesus, in order to tell him, I love you very much, not knowing how to say anything else, being such a rather ignorant one. But my sweet Jesus waited that I would tell him more, and I added, Jesus, I love you together with the love of our celestial mama. And Jesus told me, how sweet, refreshing it is to me to feel myself loved together with the love of the daughter and of our mama. I feel her maternal tendernesses, her outpourings of love, her chaste embraces, her ardent kisses that pouring themselves into the daughter. Mama and daughter love me. They kiss me, and they clasp me in their arms with a single embrace. To find together with my celestial mama, the daughter who wants to love me, and she loves me as my mama loves me, are my most dear delights, my outpourings of love. And I find the most welcome exchange for so many excesses of my love. But tell me, together with who else do you want to love me? And he was silent, waiting that I would tell him together with someone else that I wanted to love him, and I, almost a little embarrassed, added, my divine Jesus, I want to love you together with the Father and with the Holy Spirit. But it seemed that he was not yet content, and I want to love you together with all the angels and saints. And he, and with who else? With all the wayfarers, even to the last creature who will exist on the earth. I want to bring you every one and everything, even the sky, the sun, the wind, the sea, in order to love you together with everyone. And Jesus, all love because it seemed that he could not contain the flames, added, my daughter, here is my heaven in the creature, the sacrosanct Trinity, who seeds its love in order to love me together with her. The angels and saints, who compete to seed their love in order to love me together with her. This is the great act, to bring everyone into the all that is God, and the all into everyone. Your littleness, your infant ways in my divine will, embrace everyone and everything. You want to give me everything, even the adorable Trinity itself, and since you are little, no one wants to deny you anything. Rather, they unite themselves with you, and they love together with the little tiny one. And by bringing me everyone into the all, and by loving me, you diffuse the all into everyone. My love being bond of union and of inseparability, I find everything in the soul, my paradise, my works, and everything. And I can say, nothing is lacking to me, neither heaven, nor my celestial mama, nor the cortege of the angels and saints, all are with me and all love me. These are the stratagems and loving industries of the one who loves me and who calls everyone. She asks for love from everyone in order to love me and make me loved by everyone. After this, I continued to think about the divine volition, and my sweet Jesus added, my blessed daughter, one who possesses my will as life, feels in herself the divine motion. God moves in heaven, and she feels his motion. Our motion is work, it is step, it is word, it is everything. And since our will is one with what the creature possesses, she feels the same motion with which God moves flow within herself. And therefore, divine is the work, the step, the word. What my will itself does in us, it does in the creature in a way that she feels inside of herself not only the life, but the nobility and the way of He who has created her, such that she does not feel the need of asking Him, because she feels herself possessor. Our will occupies her so much that it gives her its love in order to make her love, its word in order to make her speak, its motion in order to make her move and operate. And oh, how easy it is for her to know what it wants from her. There are neither secrets nor screens for one who lives in our will, but all is revealed. We can say that we cannot hide ourselves from her because our will itself already reveals us. Who can hide from himself? To not know his secrets and what he wants to do? No one. He can hide himself from others, but from himself it will be impossible. Such is our will. It makes itself revealer and lets the creature know what it does and what it wants to do, and it makes her the great surprise of our divine being. But who can tell you where the creature reaches and what she can do by possessing our will as life? The true transformation and consummation of the creature in God happens, and God takes the active part, and He says, "Everything is mine, and I do everything in this creature." It is the true divine wedding in which God cedes His divine being to His beloved creature. On the other hand, for one who lives of human will, it happens as to one who descends from the nobility of his family and takes for his bride someone rude, rough, ill-bred. Little by little this one will lose his noble and educated ways, and will acquire boorish and rough ways, such as not to be recognized any more. What distance between one who lives of divine will and one who lives of human will! The first form the celestial kingdom on earth, enriched with goodness, with peace, with grace. They can call themselves the noble part. The second form the kingdom of revolutions, of discords, of vices that do not have peace, and they do not know how to give peace. End of the reading. There are no more readings today. Have a blessed day.